Hello, hi, this is Christine Crow here, and welcome to my channel. I am super excited, so I just want to say thank you for listening to the 30-day CEO challenge that I'm doing every day, like I said, for 30 days. And I'm super excited that, I'm starting to get some feedback about the training and how it's helping people. And you know what? I'm so pleased. I had a call today I had two calls today from a client, for example. And the first one is that she's been doing really well. She attended my boot camp and she is doing really well with her care agency. And you know why? Because she put the work in. She did what I asked her to do. She didn't question it. She did what was asked. And I'm just so pleased that she was able to put her own DNA, her own mark in her business. And I was super excited to hear from her today. And I just take my hat off to her. And then second call today, super excited because I was able to talk with a nurse, for example, and he's looking at changing a bit. The videos that I do, it really helps people. From what he said to me, for example, it's helping him to get clarity. It's helping him to really look at how he can live his best life, because he feels at the moment that he was a bit trapped in his work, for example. And this is the reason why I do this, because it's not about me, it's about you. It's about us growing together, and I want the best for all of you, and I think it's important that we help one another, support one another to grow and to be the best that we can be. So delve in and join me for today's training. But first I'd like to say, can you please hit like and subscribe and share for those that you feel that will benefit from this training that I'm doing. This is a 30-day challenge. This is a full course that I'm doing. I've never done a 30-day challenge before, never. And I don't think there's many people that have done a 30-day challenge. But you know what? I love what I do. Really, really do love it. So today is day 19 of the 30-day CEO challenge. And today is about weekly wrap up for high performing CEOs. And at the end of this week, take a moment. It's the end of the week. Take a moment and reflect, review, and recharge. It is so crucial. CEOs, so crucial. It will help you to sustain high performance in the coming up week, for example. This process is about assessing your processes and assessing your progress, identifying your areas for improvement, and setting a clear path for the week ahead. So I'm going to talk to you about a structured path for your weekly wrap up as a CEO. So what have you done in the week? What would you say was your biggest moments? What was your biggest wins? What was your not so great wins? What was your challenges? What was quite scary for you? What is it that you can think of that will help you to assess your week, but also to look at what the upcoming week is and look at what you can do that's going to bring you closer to the target of what it is that you truly want within your business, for example. So one of the first things that you should do is that you reflect on key wins and your milestones. What milestones did you achieve this week? So spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing the week's accomplishments. Look at the main goals that you set for yourself and start off the week strong. And note any milestones achieved and give yourselves a clap, pat on the back, and say, well done. Look in the mirror and say, well done, I did great this week. So what questions do you consider? So what worked well this week for you? What was it? Was it you spoke with a client, they called you and said, I'm doing really well, thank you for that training? Or did you get a client that was not happy with your services, for example? Or did you manage to complete that project, or at least move towards that goal? Or did you make the number of hours in your business or sales in your business that you were looking to achieve? So what you need to do is look at this. What are the milestones that you've actually achieved this week? So some questions that you may want to ask yourself. What went well? Do you make progress on any critical projects? So what are the benefits? By recognizing the wins, it boosts your motivation and it helps you to reinforce the productive habits of upcoming weeks. Grab your tea, and I'll just drink mine. Very, very nice. So what are you going to do? What habits are you going to put into the next coming week? What is it that you're going to really keep an eye on? Maybe you want to keep an eye on being professional, not being emotional in your workplace, for example. Maybe you want to think about not gossiping in your workplace about your colleagues, for example. Because whoever's gossiping, they're going to be gossiping about you behind your back. Then what you need to also possibly think about is, if you feel yourself getting angry, don't get angry in front of everyone. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stand up and go for a walk. Go to the coffee machine or the tea. Get tea or water. Go for a walk around outside. Change your mindset so that you're not getting agitated, you're not getting anxious. So it's okay to recognize that you have these feelings and emotions, and it's good for us to recognize it. But when we do things unconsciously and we hurt people's feelings, then that is wrong. And we shouldn't be doing that, because we're here in the workplace trying to get on with everyone, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's in, GoTo meeting or Teams, whether it's on Google Meet. We've all got to get on. We've all got a bigger picture here. It's not about us, it's about us. Sorry, it's not about me, it's about us working together, for example. So what you need to think about, what are you going to bring into the next week? What habits are you going to do? What were you proud of? What were those aha moments that you can say, yes, we did it. We met those hours this week. High five, that type of thing. What was it that worked really well that you're happy about? For me, I haven't had a cold I can't even remember the last time I had a cold, apart from this week, for example. I had a cold and I could feel the difference in me. And that's because I usually take my TCP. I take this daily. Just a little, not even a full cap, just a quarter in a cup of water. And I gargle with it. I don't drink it, I gargle with it. But like I said, I had a cold and I could feel that I didn't sound right. I didn't feel right. I felt this weird energy inside of me that I never had before. I felt it. I felt different. I had this cold and I never usually never get colds, and I had a sore throat as well, and I felt a bit bad, but I still showed up, don't get me wrong, and that made me feel strange inside. I was a bit sort of anxious, a bit sort of emotional, not in a bad way, because you're allowed to show your feelings, but not to bleed on people. We don't need that. We've got our own issues that we're dealing with, for example, especially in the workplace. It's okay to help support one another when it's the right time, but not all the time. Okay? So reflect on your key wins and your milestones. I feel like I go for a walk every day, right? And at the end of the week, when I go for that walk, I think about what happened in the week and what I could have done to make it a different outcome, for the good, for the positive, and it helps train my brain. I'm training my brain ready for the following week. I don't go into my week unconscious. I go consciously. For example, I've got my journal. I write in my journal every day. My kids are going to love me because there's so many journal books here where I've written how I feel, what I'm doing, what I need to work on. Like today, I've listed the 5 I value things that I needed to do today, and I've done 3 of them. I've got 2 more to do, and this is one of them, for example. So there'll be 1 more to do once I've finished this. But I'm not going to spend more than an hour after I've done this training today. So think about it. Be proud of what you've done this week, no matter how big or small. Oops. So the next thing that to think about is to evaluate your challenges and your obstacles. You want to action any challenges that you're faced with, tasks that were left incomplete. Reflect on potential causes such as resources, limitations, time constraints, or unforeseen issues. For example, we've had to deal with this week a breach of confidentiality. Yes, it happens in every business from time to time. It does. But we have to make sure that we've got things in place so that when that crisis does happen, that you're able to recover and find out what went wrong and report to the relevant authorities. And that's what we've had to deal with this week, for example. And thank God we were able to spot things and to report it. I think that we have to look at challenges and how we cope with it and what those obstacles are, for example. Some questions to consider. How could that have been prevented? How could that have been handled? Did you handle that correctly? Could it have been done a better way? Evaluate how you dealt with it. Because, like I said, when you're in business, there's going to be things happening, unfortunately. There's some people out there that will do things that you're not happy about. But all we can do is to try and protect the company, for example. So, some questions for you to consider is, what were the main obstacles this week for you? Are there any reoccurring issues that need to be addressed? What is the benefit? By understanding and evaluating the challenges, always, always allow you to refine these strategies and to eliminate the barriers that could hinder the future progress. Then it's always good to review and adjust your goals. So, action, revisit your goals for the week, assess whether they were realistic and whether they aligned with you. And is it part of your longer vision? Is this part of your vision beyond your vision, or the vision that you're working towards? Or did you go off course a bit from your vision that you created? You know, in your mind you had this vision. Did you achieve one step closer to that vision? Remember, one step leads to 1,000 miles. It really does. And if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, then you will get to your destination. No matter how long it takes you, as long as you get there. For example, some people want things fast. Some people think that they can just jump into a certain career or position or business, for example, when they haven't gone through the hardships and the difficulties that business owners face. When you see someone at a certain level, you don't know what they've been through before to get to where they are now. And let me tell you, it ain't pretty. It's not easy, but we've made it. So, looking at that, the next thing is communicate. Communicate with your team. You want to share the key takeaways, progress, any updates, any changes in direction with your team. Did you change things? Celebrate the collective achievements that you've done. Give feedback and set expectations for the week ahead. So, questions to consider. Are there team members who deserve recognition? Do they need clarification on any projects or goals? Benefit. You want to be transparent. Communication strengthens trust and keeps everyone aligned, fostering a productive and supportive team culture. So, the next thing that I want to talk about, which is tip 5, plan next week with clear priorities. You want to take action and set the top 3 priorities for next week based on your weekly evaluation. Make sure that you are looking at the high impact goals that directly contribute to your overarching vision. So, questions to consider. What are the top 3 objectives for next week? Are there any strategic adjustments needed based on this week's outcomes? So look at the benefits. Establish a clear priority, keeping your focus on what matters the most, improving decision making and productivity, for example. So action is important, okay? So recharge and reset. It's okay to sit back, relax, and just recharge. Have a hot soak with Epsom salt bath, for example. Lovely. Bit of lavender, just to unwind and to start recharging. Use the weekend to recharge. You know, it's like when you go to church on a Sunday, you come out and you feel really charged, don't you? Feel like you could take on the world. For those of you that go to church, for example. So it's important that you look at whether you're spending time with family, engaging in a hobby, or enjoying a day off. Take a break, step back, work from being home. So step back from work before driving and diving into next week. Some of the questions that you should consider or possibly consider is, how will you recharge for the upcoming week? For example, it's Friday today. What have you got? What is your recharge plan? To can't even pronounce it, collaborate as well as to, get strong again. Okay? So what can you do to ensure that you are strong, ready to start Monday with a fire in your belly? So the benefits of recharging: it prevents burnout, it boosts morale, and gives you a fresh perspective on the upcoming week. So as the CEO, it's important that you structure your end of week routine. You'll be able to reflect meaningfully, celebrate your wins, address any setbacks, and recharge. This routine sets a solid foundation for consistent growth and productivity in your journey as a CEO. Leila Hormozi, she's one of the really top leaders in her field. She owns, with Alex Hormozi, acquisition.com. And they're known, and she is known, I'm going to talk, towards her, for her strategic mindset and results-orientated leadership. She has a lightly approach to her end-of-week routine with a focus on discipline, aiming to align her actions and team performance with the company's mission. And I'm going to go through that with you. So this is like a Leila Hormozi mission for CEOs, end of week. So review your high-level matrix and key performance indicators, your KPIs. Action them. Examine weekly data, tracking matrix and KPIs as well is critical to the company's growth, like revenue, customers' retention, and operational efficiencies. Leila would focus on these metrics that matter most to the bottom line and overall mission. This woman is amazing. She is dedicated to her business, and she has got it to the level that only her could do that because it's her business, for example. But you can do it as well. So why? Staying data-driven helps her to stay grounded in the reality of her business health and effectiveness. Reviewing her key matrix let her spot trends early, keep priorities clear, and understand the direct impact of decision made that week, for example. So the next thing is identify and analyze any bottlenecks. And I'm going to drink my tea here. So reflect and alignment. You see, Leila, what she would do is she would take a step back to assess whether the week's action is aligned with her company's long-term vision. This might involve any tactical skills made and making it and considering if they support or distract from the primary objectives. So why? Leila believes that alignment with the vision-driven, mindful growth, she knows that every step must support the target, the larger mission to prevent distraction from derailing you or derailing progress. So you want to prioritize your team, communication and feedback. Action, Leila would communicate and open with her team, sharing her insights and updates whilst listening to their feedback is important. This may hold a team debrief to recognize individuals, their contributions, and get direct feedback. So think about this. So the next one is refine your goals and focus for the next week. The action that you want to take is you want it to be with insights from the week's review. So Leila, she would establish a top priority for the next week. She would set specific measurable goals, and she would also direct and impact those growth, breaking them down to her team and stay focused and aligned. So why? So goals clarify and focus on core to leadership approach. So Leila she believes that she is setting precise objectives so that the team can change their efforts into high impact activities and avoid wasting energy. So invest in time and personal growth. Recharge. Again, action. Leila would carve out the time for personal growth, reading, exercising, engaging, for example, effective practice, and to re-engage and gain perspective. So why? Leila knew that her strategy and mindset and her leadership, taking time to recharge, help her approach to challenges which are fresh insight and the review. And this is a drive that will ensure leadership is at its best. So I hope that you found today helpful, and I would love for you to subscribe. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I would love for you to like the video as well. And today, the training today, I don't know whether you got to see me, but it's the message at the end of the day. There will be some more where we're doing the sun tomorrow. Well, not the sun, but we're going to the beach and we're going to hire some sunbeds and take our own snack and lunches, for example, as well as our teas. So think about what is your business for the end of week. What have you looked at? What is the reflection? How well did you do? How not so well did you do? Did you lose your temper? And then now you regret it and you're kind of like kissing up to them and they're like, don't want to know. Leave me alone. You didn't want to know, so why am I going to come to you? So I just want you to think about that, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's training. And really it is about how you can really build your CEO muscles. We're on day 19. We've gone halfway past, and I'm super excited to share with you on a platform where you don't pay anything, for example, but you do learn. So I'll just go to the next one here. So like I said, refine your goals. Invest time in personal growth and recharge. So this action, Leila would carve out time for personal growth, reading, exercising, or engaging in a reflective practice. So to re-energize and gain perspective. So why Leila knows that her energy and mindset directly affect her leadership. Taking time to recharge helps you or the home itself, for example, or hotel. Think about what the approaches, the challenges with the clients that have been around, for example. So refine goals and set focus for next week. So an action here is with insights from the week's review. Leila would establish top priorities for the week ahead. She would also get specific, measurable goals that directly impact growth, bringing them down to the team to stay focused and aligned. So why the goal clarity and bonus? We're core to have leadership approach Leila, believing that there is a setting, a precise objective so that the team can channel their efforts into high impact activities and avoid this investing energy on a critical task. And last but not least is invest time in personal growth. So the action is that Leila would carve out time for personal growth, reading, exercising. So when we look at this, it needs to be an engaged so that you've got a reflective practice to re-energize and gain a perspective. So why? Well, Leila knows that her energy and mindset directly affect her leadership, taking time to recharge her approach. And it's really, she needs to find herself again, and then she can reach out to me. So what is it that you feel that you could have done better this week? What is it that you can think, oh, I missed that, I could have done that? So did you find yourself procrastinating? Did you feel yourself losing track of where you are? Did you feel yourself daydreaming into another energy field, for example? What is it that you felt that you should have had at least call back? So what we've got to think about is the next step. So just sit here and just think like this. Just sit, close your eyes, and think about what your next step is going to be. Listen to the whispers. Listen carefully. And I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. So like I said, do some meditation, close your eyes, and just think about what your next week is going to look like. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself laughing? Do you see yourself achieving your 5 goals for the week, and that it was achieved, and your clients are happy? So let's make a plan, and then that way you're going to be like number one at what you do. And that's so important, because it's important for you to compete with yourself, not the outside world, because there's enough competition out there, but you're warring with yourself. So reach out and book a free 15-minute appointment if you want to, for example, or you can wait until we're open again, and then you can come in. So I hope that was clear, and I hope that this was helpful to you as well. Okay, so what is it that you're going to do within your business for the week to see what you achieved and what you didn't achieve and what you could do well the following week coming up. So thank you so much, and I look forward to training you tomorrow on day 20. Whoop woo! Can't wait. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Thank you. Bye.